Hey everybody, Paul Morgan here. I did a video a couple of weeks ago about editing and processing hockey photos in Lightroom CC. So what I wanted to do is go through some stuff today. One of the things that I mentioned when doing that is I talked about presets, specifically develop presets, but I didn't go into a lot of detail. So I wanted to kind of create another video for you guys, another screenshot video, and kind of talk through exactly what a develop preset is and how you can create your own. So I want to talk about, first off, what a preset is. I want to talk briefly about where they live on your computer. And then I also want to discuss how you can make your own presets so you can speed up your editing time when you have bulk editing to do, like, for example, hockey tournaments. So first off, what is a preset? Well, a preset is basically a one-click solution that allows you to apply multiple slider adjustments to an image with a single click. So Lightroom has a preset panel built in here in the Develop module. You'll see we're here in the Develop module. The presets is here. We also have a preview window, and this preview window will show you a sample of what these effects, these presets, will do to a photo, so you can get an idea of what you're looking at on some of these. And Lightroom comes with a ton of its own built-in presets. As you can see, there's folders full of all kinds of cool and interesting and sometimes not so interesting things that you can do to an image using Lightroom's built-in presets. Now you can see here I have my own user presets folder that I've created that has a couple of simple effects that I like as a baseline for starting my editing process. These can be added at import, or you can pull your photos in. What I like to do is pull my photos in and do my selecting first, and then I add my preset, start my basic editing, so I don't have any, it's a little easier for me, just as what I'm used to doing. Either way will work just fine, depending on what your comfort level is with the process. So now that we know what a preset is, and we know what it's capable of, for example, if I apply this basic people preset, you can see it adds contrast, it adds clarity and vibrance, it adds sharpening mask, it adds some noise reduction, all kinds of cool stuff that it can add all at once, single click. And the beautiful thing is that if you're familiar with Lightroom at all, you can select multiple images. You can, as long as your auto sync is turned on here, I can click on this preset, and what I'll do is I'll click this other preset to show, and you can see these little corners light up to say that that was applied to every single one of these images. So you can get 100 images or more, and you can apply the same basic preset instead of going through and doing it singly. So that's a really nice thing that we can do there. All right, let me zoom back out here. Pushed the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Okay, so where do presets live? Well, I'm going to show you where the presets live on my computer. If we right click here, it will tell us show in Finder. So we pull that up and it brings up a window, and there is that preset. This is where it lives on my computer. So as you can see, it lives in a user presets folder, which that's a folder I created. I'll show you how to do that. It lives in a develop presets folder, which is in your Lightroom's settings catalog. This was created by Lightroom, the develop presets, the Lightroom settings. This is a catalog that I created. I called it events catalog. It lives directly on my computer, on my laptop that I take when I work events. And so events, Lightroom settings, develop presets, whatever the name of your folder is, that's where your presets are going to live. Now that we know where they live, we can talk about how to make them. Well, again, we're in the Develop module, so let's apply some effects to this photo so we can make a preset. So let's reset it first, and then we'll say, okay, we want to do some white balance. Let's say we want to bump the exposure just a little for whatever reason you were shooting a little dark. Add a little contrast, add a little clarity. We'll add a little saturation in this case, just to be different. But let's say we shot under green lights, something that has a lot of green, some fluorescence, and we want to bring that down a little bit. We want to add some sharpening masking. We'll do about 50, and then we'll add just a little bit of noise reduction, not a lot. And let's say we're using an ultra wide lens maybe, or something where we want to have the profile corrections turned on. And just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to add a little vignette. We'll add a lot of vignettes so you can see it. You can see it coming in there. So we'll go about there, just so you can see how this works. Okay, we've done a bunch of things to this image. Now we want to create a preset. We're going to assume that we don't have a folder yet for our preset. So what we're going to do is, in the Develop module, under the Develop drop-down menu, we have a couple options. We have New Preset and New Preset Folder that are relevant. Well, if we're going to create a preset, we need to have a place for it to live. So what we'll do is we'll create a new folder. We're going to call this Test Folder. We create that, and you can see it pops in here in alphabetical order, Test Folder. And you can see there is nothing in it right now. So what we'll do is we've established some things that we want as our baseline for our preset that we want to create. New preset here, and we will call this Test Preset. Now you will see it gives us a folder option here, because now we have two different folders that will allow us to put it in. So we want to put it in our test folder. And you can put it anywhere you like, but for this demonstration, we'll just put it in the test folder. And you can see here we have a bunch of different options that it will allow us to use when we apply this preset. We also have a couple extra buttons here. We have a check all, which allows it to check everything. So everything that is possible of being changed in the Develop module is being changed in this preset. Or we can say check none, and it'll uncheck everything except process version. Process version is unique, and I'll show you why. I'll uncheck it. It gives us this warning here. Presets that do not specify a process version may produce different visual results in future versions of Lightroom. So this is kind of a future-proofing thing. I haven't run into any issues with it yet, but it doesn't hurt to keep it checked, and it's fairly simple to update a preset if you need to, if you see something weird when Lightroom updates at some point. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we change the white balance. So we'll check white balance. Basic tone, we did change exposure, we did change contrast. We did not change our tone curve. We did add some clarity. We did play with sharpening. We did our color treatments. We did not do split toning. We did not do graduated filters or radial filters. We did do some noise reduction, and we did apply lens corrections. We did apply some post-crop vignetting. So let's say, for example, here, this is interesting. I can show this to you. You have the ability to check only one thing. So we did do post-crop vignetting. We didn't want it to affect grain or dehaze if we had used those for something else. And so that gives us this little dash line here instead of a check mark like what you see here, to show that only part of those things are being used. So now all we have to do is click Create, and it creates our test preset over here in our test folder. Now, if we reset, well, actually, let's do this. Let's go here. We have a different image. You can see there's somewhat of a difference there. We have, go straight down here. We can see that no changes have been made to this. So we'll go here and we will click our test preset to apply it to this image. And you can see it changed the way our image appears on the screen. It changed our highlights, added the profile corrections, noise reduction, a mask to our sharpening. It dropped that green. All the things that we told it to do, it made those changes with a single button push. And again, we can go here, we can select 3 different images, and as long as we have our auto sync turned on here where it says auto sync, we can click that test preset, and it applies that changes to all 3 of these images for us. So that is an overview of Develop presets, how they work, what they are. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.